in here. Trying to keep the tire still. She's not. Oh, you got it. Yep. Alright, so I realized that these covers are actually glued on here with expansion foam, which is kind of hilarious to me. But I'm just gonna kind of rip this thing off. Hopefully I can find a way to reattach it, because I like the look of it. And then there's a pin behind here that we gotta tap out, which is going to then allow me to access everything I need to access. Really quickly, guys, I'm going to go ahead and remove the cap from my brake reservoir. It's going to make things a ton easier down below so that there's no pressure on the brake cylinder. Okay, so right here, y'all, is where the cylinders are. That's why I took off the brake cap up top, because I want to release this pressure. So we're going to take this little guy here, wedge it in, and pop these two loose. Trying to find it. Dear Lordy, it's actually kind of cool. So here you guys can see the sensor. So basically, as this gets worn down, it wears down enough to then alert the sensor, which we're going to replace in the new one, that the brake pads need to be changed. Okay, so on the other side, this sensor was actually facing up. On this side, the sensor is actually facing down. So pay attention as you're doing this. I'm going to go one at a time, nice and easy. So this little slot here is what we saw was worn down on the other brake pad. So I'm going to slide this in right here. Do you see that little hole? And so as the brake pad gets used, it gets worn down and then it will sensor. Push these cylinders back so I can have as much space as I can in order to put in the new brake pads. Alright, let's go ahead and do the back one now. So, brake pads are in. Time to put this pin back in place. Gotta pay attention to make sure I don't hit my wire or anything like that. The pin is like bent, so it's a little tricky. There we go. On this side, where it's supposed to fit in and kind of lock everything in place, is broken. And it looks like it's been broken for a while. It did not break when I took the pin out. So since I don't have a replacement pin, my solution is actually to flip the whole pin around. Okay, so obviously like this is a temporary fix, but this way I have the pin all the way through the back and it's going all the way through the front. Before, when I was driving around, there was no pin coming through this front because it was broken off. So at minimum, it's safer than how it was, but I will go back to Mercedes to get a replacement pin and go back in and do it right. I just like to have a somewhat drivable car in the meantime. See how heavy this thing is. It's like so much heavier than I expected.
Okay.